What is holding up these talks? There are many, many issues. The most important one is certainly finance, and it's probably going to be the decisive problem in Paris. So we expect it to stay on the table until the very last minute, probably to be dealt with at the really high level, probably by head of states.
And can we expect progress on that issue?
We certainly do. There have been a lot of talks in Lima, in New York, in Paris, in Bonn on these issues. So we know what the problems are. We know that some countries, especially the poorest one, developing countries, are expecting more from richer countries. We also know that some countries, including France, including Germany, including many other countries, have made progress. We also know that new countries are joining and are actually contributing to the Green Climate Fund and to climate finance in general, including countries like Peru, like Mongolia, like Mexico, Colombia. So there are new players in the room, and we have to also recognize this change.
And these talks are preparing the climate conference. What does actually need to happen between now and when leaders arrive in Paris?
Well, yeah, we were expecting this week to really see progress on the text and to really have something that is actually a negotiating text for Paris. We are not quite there yet. So now, where are we? We still have 1 month. There will be this pre-COP early November, where we expect about 75 head of state or ministers from 75 countries to join. They will, we hope, decide on the very final issues to be solved. Then we have this head of states plenary to open the negotiation on the first weekend of the COP. So hopefully at that time they will be able to decide on the final, really last remaining points, and then hopefully the negotiator will just have to translate that into text by the end of the COP21, which is going to be in December.
And you hopeful of a result?
We're hopeful, although this week was quite surprising, I would say. So we're still hopeful. We have seen a really tremendous leadership among key leaders, among Ban Ki-moon. He has been bringing all these head of states at the UN in New York. We've seen really strong commitment from the US, from China, from a lot of players that were not so involved in Copenhagen. So we're still hopeful. There is still a lot of work to be done. There are still some key issues to solve. But at this stage, we're still hopeful, also because we see a tremendous momentum from the outside of the negotiation world, right? The cities are doing a lot, the private sector is doing a lot, so there are so many actors. The civil society is really committed to have a deal, an ambitious deal in Paris. So at this point, I think we still need to be extremely hopeful that we'll get a deal in Paris. We need to keep the pressure really high, and we need to keep working.
Céline Hamstein, thank you very much for having come into France 24.